political newcomer Kevin Kühnert could thwart Mrs Merkel's plans of launching her new government in March by stirring anti-coalition support among incoming party members of the SPD. The 28-year-old has less than a fortnight to convince 440,000 SDP members to vote against the coalition deal in a postal ballot, with the result due on March 4. Mr. Kühnert, who has been a member of the SPD since he was 15, said he was inspired by the Momentum movement that supports Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn because of the way it brought disenfranchised people into politics. He told The Times, "Labour has shown that a renewal can only take place if there are external impulses." Related articles: "We had someone to blame." Germany reveals it left hard politics to UK. "We will never agree." Juncker reveals EU is not united on defence. Labour has shown that a renewal can only take place if there are external impulses. SPD youth leader Kevin Kühnert. Such a big machine as a party will have a very hard time to renew itself with only those who have always been there. Therefore the many new entrants that came with Momentum were great help in making possible what happened around Corbyn. In January, 25,000 new members joined the SDP following the launch of Mr. Kühnert's campaign to block the coalition deal, and he urged people to join for €5 a month. He said, "The 25,000 new members in January will certainly not be sufficient to significantly influence the renewal process. That is why we call for more people to join the SPD beyond the Grand Coalition vote." Mr. Kühnert said he would like to see left-wing parties join together and build a majority that would end Mrs. Merkel's chancellorship. He said, "What I would like to achieve is that the SPD returns as a strong party of the people on the left, which has options to build a majority beyond a grand coalition, with other left-leaning parties." The prerequisite for this, of course, is that the chancellorship of Angela Merkel will eventually come to an end, but that is not the reason why I do politics. I would rather talk about what should happen with my party and work on that the coming months and years. Mrs. Merkel made heavy concessions to the SPD after breaking more than 4 months of political deadlock to agree to reform the Grand Coalition earlier this month, including handing over the powerhouse finance ministry. The deadlock prompted speculation the 63-year-old German leader could be forced to step down. But after long negotiations over key issues such as foreign policies, immigration and the environment, Mrs. Merkel will remain Chancellor for her 4th term. The youth leader, who is seen by some as a future Chancellor, wants the left-wing factions of Germany to reject coalitions altogether, believing Berlin's electoral system is set up to encourage coalition rule and centrism. Mr. Kühnert argues the third Grand Coalition in 4 government terms would be a disaster for politics and contribute to the rise of the Alternative for Germany, AfD, as voters seek clear answers. Many fear a new election with the nationalist AfD just 1 point behind the SPD in the polls. Speaking to an audience at Göttingen University in Germany, Mr. Kühnert said, "A rejection of a grand coalition will provide the opportunity for the centrist parties to be able to work out unique selling points again to reignite political discourse." This also needs to be reflected in Parliament. It needs to be a place of exciting debates to show that there still are relevant conflicts between parties. Opinion polls in Germany show a mixture of support for Mrs Merkel's grand coalition deal. ARD Deutschland trend showed 51% of SPD 1001 supporters on February 15 thought the deal good or very good, while 49% judged it less good or bad. A Cantor-Amnet survey of 1,006 SPD members interviewed over 3 days last week, however, showed 66% would vote for it and just 30% against. Related articles. Do we look at tweets now? Merkel's deputy makes huge dig at Trump. We cannot delay. Theresa May tells EU it faces chaos without pact. We had someone to blame. Germany reveals it left hard politics to UK.